In the north of Warsaw's city centre, there lives a small Jewish community of around 650 people. They live according to tradition, a city in a city, with its own synagogue, theatre, cafes and businesses. And good kosher restaurants with ritually slaughtered meat. Poland banned the ritual slaughter of meat in January. It was a shock for the Jewish community. Pavel Bramson is a caterer. The meat he buys is deep frozen from before the slaughter ban. Bramson says Polish businesses have 300 tons of kosher frozen meat stored away. His customers are increasingly concerned and constantly call in to ask if there's still enough meat.
If we run out of meat, then we will simply get it from outside of the country. Don't you worry. We won't raise the prices. In the worst case scenario, well, we'll all become vegetarian.
Of course, he's joking. But Jews in Poland are worried it will become difficult to eat kosher.
There are customers that really panic. They hoard meat at home, filling up their freezers.
What's different about religious slaughter is that the animal has to be drained of all of its blood. The butcher hangs the animal upside down and then slits its throat. These photos were taken in secret from an unknown location. Animal rights activists say ritual slaughter is cruelty to animals.
That is what all of the studies, all of the research tells us. The animal hangs upside down, its throat is cut, and it chokes on its own blood for 2-3 minutes. That is really terrible, and it isn't acceptable in this day and age.
These protesters shout, "Animals aren't just things." The activists took to the streets in support of the ritual slaughter ban. According to polls, most Polish people are against ritual slaughter. Poland's parliament has voted to uphold a complete ban on the practice. That's bad news for Poland's meat industry. Ritual slaughter was a booming niche market.
The fastest growing market for beef is in the Middle East, in Muslim countries. That means ritually slaughtered meat. Poland fought hard to supply a large part of that market. In 2011, for example, we exported a third of our meat to Turkey.
Slaughterhouses say the economic consequences of the law are huge. Poland was once one of Europe's leading meat exporters.
We had to let half of our employees go. The whole thing is negative. Production is down by 50%. We don't know what to expect next.
The Jewish community in Poland considers the ritual slaughter ban anti-Semitic. Israel's foreign embassy has called on Poland's parliament to drop the ban.
The decision was wrong because in the end, even without intention, it potentially limits religious freedom, and that is unacceptable.
Polish Muslims also criticize the ban.
The situation is harder for people who try to live according to religious scripture. There's a risk that this will create a black market, where everyone will just do whatever they want.
The legal situation is confusing. There are two laws that contradict each other. On the one side, there is the absolute ban on ritual slaughter. On the other side, there is a law that allows religious groups to ritually slaughter animals for their own purposes. For example, at this Muslim festival of the ethnic minority of Polish Tatars, an important religious ceremony. Is it illegal? Is it allowed? No one is sure.
We would have to carry the consequences. That means paying a fine or going to jail for 2 years.
While Poland debates how cattle should be slaughtered, the slaughterhouses say they will fight the new law in court. Religious groups say the same. Until then, people affected by the ban will have to make do.
They act like they have clean hands because they outlawed ritual slaughter. But around the corner, in the Czech Republic, it's allowed. animals slaughtered there are exported to Poland. Then you can buy the meat here. That's just absurd.
These are all kosher ingredients for a goulash or a schnitzel. This store has enough meat to last until the end of the year.